And then look at what the scripture says from the New Living Translation. In the wilderness, their desires ran wild. So ran wild. Their desires ran what? Wild. Testing God's patience in that dry wasteland. So anytime your desires or your passions are not within control, it becomes lost. Is there anything wrong in desiring good things? No. Is there anything wrong to have passion in life? No. Desire in itself, is it wrong? No. But there comes a time when people begin to have their desires running wild. A wild desire is lost. Desire that cannot be checked. Desire that cannot come under control. So anytime you have such desires that cannot be tamed, I want to become this and I want to just become it anyhow. No control. It cannot follow through a process until it is battered. When our desires begin to have wings and then they begin to fly in every direction. So that's what the scripture is warning us about, because a young person, that person that is a young person is full of, wants to do so many things. Is an achiever. He's an achiever. He wants to achieve so many things at the same time. And so if care is not taken, the person will run very wild, and then before you know it, it becomes something else. Give me Psalms 78 and verse 18. Psalm 78 and verse 18. And we will read all the way to verse 31. They stubbornly tested God in their hearts. Now everybody look at it. Let's read. They stubbornly tested God in their hearts, demanding the foods they craved. They even spoke against God himself, saying, God can't give us food in the wilderness. Yes, he can strike a rock so water gushes out, but they can't give his people bread and meat. When the Lord heard them, he was furious. The fire of his wrath burned against Jacob. Yes, his anger rose up against Israel. For they did not believe God or trust him to care for them. But he commanded the skies to open. He opened the doors of heaven. He rained down manna for them to eat. He gave them bread from heaven. They ate the food of angels. God gave them all they could hold. He released the east wind in the heavens and guided the south wind by his mighty power. He rained down meat as thick as dust, birds as plentiful as the sand on the seashore. He caused the birds to fall within their camp and all around their tents. The people ate their fill. He gave them what they craved. Read on. But before they satisfied their cravings, while the meat was yet in their mouth, what did he do to them? The anger of God rose against them, and he killed their strongest men. He struck down the finest of Israel's young men. What was the problem? Was there anything wrong in people looking for something better to eat? Is there anywhere is there any law anywhere that says people should not look for something good for themselves? No, nothing. But what was the problem of this lust? What was the problem of this craving that they crave for? It was a wild thing. It was a passion that can't be controlled. It was a hunger that they could not subdue. As soon as anything comes, they want to have it. As soon as anything comes, they just want to get it. And if you live your life like that, you will lose your glory as a young person. Because there are more than enough things that will come your way that will be looking for your attention. Things that will create hunger in you, that will drive you in the wrong direction. The craving for money. When people are so saturated with the drive to make money at all costs, when the passion is not something that you can control, before you know it, you lose yourself. Even the good things of life that you should pursue as a young person, how are you supposed to pursue them? Come to the place where you check in your heart This thing I am running after, is it lost? Or is it something legitimate? If it is legitimate, then you will see clearly that it is something that you will run after. It will not take you away from God. Then you have control over it. Anybody that has control over his appetite, for instance, it's not anything that comes by that will take away his attention. If he gets the thing, fine. If he's not able to get the thing, he's calm. But check it. Check it. Use that litmus test and check the capacity of your desire, the capacity of your passion, the capacity of your cravings. What are the things you are craving for? Is that craving bringing you to the place of lust? Is that craving something you can tame? Or it is a craving that you cannot control? If you have such passions and such desires that tilt towards the negative and that runs wild in your life, uncontrollable passion, then you have put yourself in a very difficult position as a young person. Because anything that comes, you will run at it.